Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and welcome back to another Stampin' On Friday episode. Today's card's just going to be a birthday card for my son, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my card base. It's going to be a standard A2 size card. It's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper cut in half, and you can either do it on the 11-inch side at 5.5 or on the 8.5-inch side at 4 1/4, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to take my cardstock and score it. And I like to use my Score Buddy for that. I'm going to score this at 5.5. And that's just our card base. So the next thing we're going to start doing is start putting together our card. I have a piece of Smoky Shadow paper tray ink cardstock. This is cut at, let's see, what was the size of this? It was 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of pattern paper, and this comes from the Echo Park Little Boy collection, and this measures, let's see, this was 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and I cut it a little shorter because I'm going to go ahead and do a little stamped border up on the top here, or a punch border rather, and I'm just going to use this EK Success punch right here. I don't remember the name of this, but I'll have all the supplies listed on my blog that I used for today's card. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch my border edge. Now this is a little bit longer than my piece here, so I'll trim that down once I get that adhered down. And then I'll just put some adhesive on this. And then I'm going to take my pattern paper and line that up right onto okay. I'll just trim the sides off. So that'll be going onto this piece of paper right here, so it'll look just like that. And let's see, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take a piece of pattern paper also from that same Echo Park collection, and that's going to go right across the bottom. So I'm just going to line this up right down here, a little bit up from the bottom, not completely lined up. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and the stamp sentiment comes from this paper tray ink stamp set. This is the Boy Basics Out of This World stamp set, and I'm going to use the You're Out of This World. So I have that already mounted on my block. And for my ink, I'm using my Jenny Bolin Fountain Pen Black ink. So just ink this up really well. And I'm going to stamp this down at the bottom. And then I just noticed I'm a little crooked on this piece here, so let me see if I could peel this off. Okay, so I got a little bit of an ink mark on here, and I really don't care. It actually, don't mind it at all, because I am going to go ahead and ink the edges anyway. So let me just grab my Distress inker. So I just grabbed my black soot foam ink pad, or foam inker for this, and I'm just going to go ahead around the edges, and I probably should have inked the edges of this as well, but it actually won't matter because I am going to add another layer. So that's that piece. I have another piece of pattern paper. It's going to go right along this edge, so I'll also go ahead and ink this up. And I'll adhere this down. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is also from the same stamp set. They have this little countdown stamp right here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stamp that going straight across here. And I'm going to start by inking that up and then stamping it right in about the middle of the card. And then I'll go ahead and do the sides. Okay. So the next thing I want to add to my card is I cut out this number 10 because it's Ethan's 10th birthday. So I'll ink this up. What I'll do next is go ahead and layer this, and I cut out the same size number 10 as I did this one, and I'm just gonna kind of offset it a little bit. So I want to grab some liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry for this, and I'll go ahead and ink this up as well as my 10th, or my TH for 10th. So I'm just offsetting it a little bit to create kind of a shadow area. And I cut this out using my silhouette. I'm just going to go ahead and put my letter, or my number, and my TH on here. Again, I'll just use my Quick Dry for this. So I put the TH off at a little angle there. And the last thing I want to do before I adhere this down to my matte piece is I'm going to take a piece of twine, and I'm going to go ahead and tie that around a couple of times. And now I'll just go ahead and adhere this to my piece of the Smoky Shadow cardstock that I cut earlier. I'm going to center that right on here. And then I will adhere this down to my piece of white cardstock that I cut earlier. That's our card for today. Thanks for watching another Stampin' On Friday episode, and I'll see you next time.